Today, we will be talking about living versus non-living things. This lesson targets first graders. So in the classroom, the topic would be living versus non-living. I feel as if when we were very young, we didn't really know the difference between living versus non-living. We assumed that everything was living. We assumed everything was like us, but that is not the case. So today, the boys and girls will learn the definition, the difference, and the characteristics and examples of living versus non-living things. First, we jump right into biotic versus abiotic. These words come up a lot when talking about living and non-living things. I think it is very good to know this and teach this at a very young age. So biotic is as simple as living things. Abiotic is non-living things. It is just another word for living and non-living. Biotic, living, abiotic, non-living. Here we have the two charts that break it down for us with visuals. Biotic, again, is living things such as plants, animals, bacteria, etc. And biotic and abiotic, again, is non-living things such as water, soil, light, minerals, and air. Then in this one, we just have living and non-living, like tigers, flowers, bugs, and then non-living like pencils, tools, teddy bears. These words are interchangeable. And I'm going to pause right here because the first graders could raise their hand and be like, Miss Venturi, what does interchangeable mean? And I would break it down for them and say, you could use biotic or living things, or abiotic and non-living things. You could use those words because they mean the same thing. Now, the definition of living things. Any organism or form of life that possesses or shows the characteristics of life or being alive. The first graders might ask, what does life or being alive mean? And that means all of these characteristics. Here, we have characteristics of living things. I might say to them, boys and girls, think about us. We are humans. We are alive. We are living things. We are biotic. We breathe. We move, like run, jump, kick, jump rope. We eat, like cheeseburgers, ice cream, bananas. We excrete, which means use the bathroom, because first graders might not know what the word excrete means. We grow, right? We're not the same height and size as we were when we were 2 years old compared to now. We develop, again, our facial features, our hair, everything, different from when we were 5 to now. We obtain and use energy every day. We reproduce, means have children like mom and dad had them. We adapt and respond to the environment. And personally, that characteristic goes more along with animals, in my opinion. For example, when the birds are flying in the sky on a nice sunny day, then when it starts to get windy and rainy, they probably fly to the trees in their nests. Or when a bear hibernates for the winter, when it's freezing, those are good examples. And all living things are made up of one or more cells. And here we have characteristics of living things chart. Movement, respiration, sensitivity, nutrition, excretion, reproduction, and growth. So the students will be able to see it in two forms, bulleted quickly to the point on the slide or in a picture visual form. Now, examples of living things. Quickly right here, we break it down. We have humans, animals, and plants. That's very broad, so I narrowed it down with some examples. We have the label and the visual picture of a flower, living. Dog, living. Kid, living. Here's a good time in the classroom to be like, boys and girls, does anybody else have an example of a living thing that is not up on the board? I will have them raise their hands and call on them to share. Now, we jump into non-living definition. This is very simple, clear, to the point. Anything that was never alive. Never alive. I want the boys and girls to understand that non-living is the complete opposite of living. The definition, the characteristics, and the example. Complete opposite. Living alive possesses being alive, right? Non-living, anything that was never alive. Now, the characteristics of non-living things, they are literally the complete opposite of the characteristics of living things. Non-living things do not breathe, do not grow, do not need or use energy, do not reproduce, do not evolve, do not move, do not need sunlight, food, water, or oxygen. Again, we have a quick bullet point, less words, and we have the visual. So here, I thought this visual was great because it gets the kids thinking and to ask questions as well, because we have man-made non-living things and natural non-living things. Here, the first graders might raise the hand again. Ms. Venturi, what does man-made non-living things mean? I would say man-made means us, humans, living people, made something that was non-living. For example, we use nails, a hammer, and wood to make a table. Or in a factory, buses and cars were made. Or construction people helped build buildings, right? Then for natural non-living things like the sun, the moon, mountains, clouds, those were all naturally on Earth before us. They were already here. No one made them. No one built them. They were here. Natural non-living things and man-made non-living things. These non-living things possess all of these characteristics. They do not breathe, do not grow, do not reproduce, do not move, etc. Now, more examples of non-living things. Right here in the top left, we have a quick little picture chart of non-living things to give the kids a good idea, like the snowman slide, flashlight, fence, teddy bear, etc. But I broke it down into bigger, clear pictures for them as well. And here I might be like, boys and girls, can someone please tell me one of the pictures along with the word on the board? Someone might raise their hand and I will call on them and they say, that is a rock, Miss Venturi, or those are books, Miss Venturi. And I can finish it off by saying more examples of non-living things, the car, a chair, etc. The picture and the label for them to clearly see. So all in all, the goal of this lesson is for the students to know the difference between living and non-living along with their other words, biotic and abiotic, and then their definition, characteristics, and examples. Thank you.